It was about 9 years ago, really my whole family, we had been talking about coming together and having a family business. We wanted to come together and we decided that the hobby of bird feeding and just our love of nature is what really united us as a family. Like many women who are diagnosed with endometriosis and adenomyosis, it's been really 2 decades of trying to figure out what's going on with me, and I wasn't officially diagnosed until earlier this year. And that's the story of a lot of women with endometriosis. It's the story of a lot of women with health issues. Oftentimes we are trying to get to the root of what's going on with me. I know I'm not crazy, and you've been gaslit by people along the way who have no idea what's going on with you.
Welcome to another episode of The Rooted Founder. Today, I'm going to be taking us down more of a nature path, which I love. Anyone who follows me closely knows that I love nature. I go on hikes all of the time. And today we're going to dive into a conversation with Amanda Bustillos, who is a mother, an entrepreneur inside of a family business, and also encountered some health things that kind of helped her navigate and shift some of the ways that she was operating so she could be more aligned. And I'm really, really passionate about you can build a business and a beautiful life. And I think this conversation is going to double tap into how we can navigate that, showing up for ourselves, showing up for the people that we care about and we love, showing up around our dinner tables, and also showing up around our boardrooms. So, Amanda, excited to have you.
Stacy, I am so excited to be here with you. I have been following you for a very long time, and I'm honored to be here with you. So thank you.
Yes. I want to just start with so you and I share in common family business.
Yes.
At least the origin of my business story was family business. So talk to me about how you kind of got into that and some of the trials with it, because it's not always roses and daisies, but it's also beautiful in so many ways too.
It really is. It was about 9 years ago, my whole family, we had been talking about coming together and having a family business. My dad was a retired police officer, my mom a retired pharmacist, my husband was a school teacher, and I had worked in radio and marketing. And we wanted to come together, and we decided that the hobby of bird feeding and just our love of nature is what really united us as a family. It really brought us together. It was something that we all enjoyed doing together. And we thought, what if we had our own Wild Birds Unlimited shop in Dripping Springs in our hometown? And we all came together. We are the smallest population store of Wild Birds Unlimited stores. And so there was a lot of doubt there. There were some folks that said, I don't think y'all can do it. This is giving me nightmares. This isn't going to work. And I knew together as a family that we could do it. And here we are almost 8 years later and loving what we do and still just really enjoying it. And that alignment is still there. That's been everything that's, carried us through. We love what we do. And so we're excited to celebrate 8 years in September. And it hasn't all been easy. Owning a business is really difficult. We have made it through the pandemic and different times that I think a lot of business owners hope that they would never have to try to have to maneuver through. But we've really done it, and we've come out successful so far. So
I'm curious. So birds.
Yes.
Is there anything that you see in a bird's life, in the way birds operate, that has taught you things about business?
Oh my gosh, birds are tenacious.
Okay.
They get to come inside and enjoy the air conditioning when it's 100 degrees. When it's a winter storm that lasts a week and it's 17 degrees outside or almost 0 degrees outside, they have to make it outside. A tiny little bird. When they migrate, they have to travel across the world, travel across states, and who knows what kind of circumstances they're going to find themselves in. And they have to be tenacious, as tiny as they are. They have to be tenacious and make it through. And they really inspire us. I think we've had to adopt a lot of those qualities to try to make it through the last 8 years. And so birds are incredible, and incredible in every way. They're magic. And it's really beautiful to witness that whenever you're watching them, just admiring them in your backyard for just a short time, just how they survive and how they thrive in, different circumstances is amazing.
So I want to kind of circle back. So you said tenacious, which is amazing, and you need to have that in business. And then you also said that when you had the idea of doing this family business, that a lot of people thought that you couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. And now 8-9 years later, you've done it and you've proven that you can, which obviously required a lot of tenacity.
Yes.
If you were to psychoanalyze yourself, psychoanalyze the journey, and really reflect on that stepping off point. So you are standing on the precipice of doing something that many people don't believe you can. And then you decide to forge forward. How did you actually navigate that? Because there's so many people listening, so many people who are in a transition in their life. The way they've been operating their human, maybe the way they've been operating their bank account, the way they've been operating their family life is no longer serving them, and they need to take a courageous step to do something different, but they do feel like the odds are stacked against them. How did you navigate that?
We felt really confident that our hometown would support us. And like when you're growing up in school and there's that group of people in your class that you want to be like in a group with because you know that they are just like, there's no way you can fail with them. My family is really that way. My mom and dad are some of the hardest working people I've ever met. My husband is the hardest working guy I've ever met. And I knew that if we really just started and did the hard work and worked our way up, that we could do it. And I saw the lady who actually ran the farmer's market yesterday at a talk that I gave. And I thanked her because she allowed us to have a booth at the farmer's market, like really starting from as basic as it can be. And just meeting people in our community and inviting them to our shop before it even opened. Like we've really, I thought about it a lot yesterday. It's taken a lot of doing the simple things and staying consistent for 8 years. Consistency is everything, and customer service is really the foundation of our business, good customer service. And we have really worked at that every single day for 8 years and just believed in ourselves. If you find a business that you want to take on and you have belief in yourself and you do the work to get there, it's truly possible to be successful.
Now, did you have your diagnosis before you started the business or after?
I was at that farmer's market before we started. I was really suffering, and I've been suffering with health problems probably for 20 years. Like many women who are diagnosed with endometriosis and adenomyosis, it's been really 2 decades of trying to figure out what's going on with me, and I wasn't officially diagnosed until earlier this year. And that's the story of a lot of women with endometriosis. It's the story of a lot of women with health issues. Oftentimes we are trying to get to the root of what's going on with me. I know I'm not crazy, and you've been gaslit by emergency room doctors and just people along the way who have no idea what's going on with you. And that's another part of my life where I've really just like had to be tenacious and never give up on finding out what's going on with me. So I really feel like this has been a really big breakthrough year for me in business and also in my health, just as a woman. And back to the theme of tenacity, really just like never give up, never stop trying to fight for the business that you love, never stop trying to figure out what's going on with you health-wise. And I'm really grateful now that I have the answers. I've had surgery, and I'm really just trying to do the work in my own personal life with my health to continue to feel good so I can show up in places the way that I want to show up.
Yeah, I think you highlighted something that I want to double tap on, and that's to listen to your own body. I think sometimes, whether we're building businesses, whether we're being intuitive with our own health, it's easy to allow the noise that is outside of us to dominate our internal knowing. And curious for you, how do you kind of tap into that internal knowing as an authentic compass for yourself.
Oh my gosh. And I just want to say, like, I think business owners, the stress, especially in the initial years of getting a business off the ground, can make a lot of medical issues that we're trying to, ignore. That stress can really flare up a lot of things going on within us. And you can ignore them. You can keep pushing away and grinding away at your business and ignoring those things, but they will show up. They will show up, and you have to face those things. And nature for me is really the way that I like get back to my true self. Every time I am scared or nervous or stressed, I go outside, I put my feet in the grass, I listen to the birds, and I have to ground myself and really get in touch with that internal knowing. And I think that's the magic of nature. It is so healing. We can be stressed and worried, and just a walk, a hike, a moment just outside listening, it's been proven that for our physical and our mental health, that it is so healing. And bird song and just, grounding yourself. And I think it's magic that I get to do that and share that with people for a living. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, I would agree. For those that don't have a nature job or nature business, oftentimes we are attached to our screens. So we are staring at pixels in fluorescent light, in air-conditioned buildings, and how our bodies are experiencing life is literally staring into a screen.
Yes.
And when we stare into that screen for so long, we end up hanging from the tabs in our head. And we are so disconnected from our bodies, and there's no oxygen getting to our brain. And I think what you're exposing and sharing is so valuable, that there is a frequency when you get outside and you put your feet in the grass and on the dirt, and you're able to close the tabs in your brain and just be present with what is actually life. The things behind the screen are not actually alive. The things that are out in nature are alive. And it's so beautiful that you've built an entire business around nature, which is what reconnects us to our souls anyways.
Yes. And I even have to remind myself, we work inside of a retail shop, and there are the artificial lights, and I try to get out and carry out for customers as much as I can. But I mean, we get so busy as business owners that we have to come back to that why and yeah. And kind of teaching people how they can still look outside their window when they're working, hopefully, or try to work outside for a little bit or take some breaks and go on walks.
Can you describe a time that a moment in nature deeply shifted something in you?
Oh my gosh, yes. I remember it was about 5 years ago. It was raining. It was the first time that I used a handheld hummingbird feeder to feed the hummingbirds. And I kind of got the hummingbirds used to me. I just got our regular hummingbird, and I would hold it and they would come close. And I used this little nectar dot, and I had it in my hand, and a hummingbird came and drank from my handheld hummingbird feeder, and it looked me in the eyes while it was sipping nectar. And that moment, I mean, we had already had our shop for about 2 years at that point. And that moment, I was crying. I was like, this is a life-changing moment. This moment of feeding a hummingbird out of my hand and looking a hummingbird in the eye and making that connection with nature. I was like, I can't have a bad day ever again. This is magic. This is too good. And I had a similar feeling recently looking on my back porch and seeing a painted bunting. We're lucky here in Central Texas to have painted buntings, which are a rainbow colored bird. The male is rainbow colored and the female is a lime green color. And it never gets old. It's like miraculous every single time you see them. And it's just neat. At our shop, we get to hear about people's moments like that. They come in and they're excited to share with us. And I think it's incredible that you can just have moments in nature like that are really life-changing and just kind of change your perspective on the world. And it's magic. That's the only way to describe it, is it's magic.
It's a feeling.
Yes.
And sometimes when we live in logic land, it we're very, very detached from those moments of pure bliss. And like you, I spend a lot of time in nature. And when you get to experience nature in its fullest expression and actually be fully present to that experience, not somewhere else in your mind, not worrying about anything, it is magical. It's like the entire universe is speaking to you in that moment, and everything pauses. It's like a coming home.
It is. And I hope that everyone listening today, if they take one thing away, it's that they're going to try to have one of those moments. Turn off your phone, go for a walk, or just sit outside on your back porch and just be with nature for a little bit. That's my hope.
Mm-hmm. When you made the comment about nectar, it reminded me of a story. I was on a cruise with Kim Kiyosaki and my mother, and Kim Kiyosaki she was talking about percussion. I think that's the word. And she was saying, as a bumblebee, what is a bumblebee doing? And the bumblebee is running around going for nectar. But what it's inadvertently doing, not knowing it's doing it, is it's pollinating. And as human beings, we have these goals, like we have nectar as our goal, and we're running around pursuing these things, but our frequency, how we're being embodied as a human being, is pollinating. We're spreading joy, or we're spreading fear, or we're spreading love, or we're spreading laughter, or we're spreading worry, or we're spreading anxiety based on the energy our bodies are carrying while we're pursuing that goal, just like bees are pursuing nectar and they're pollinating. Wow. And since you're so into nature, you probably know the science of this way more than I do, but how do you translate that into your own day-to-day life, that concept of how we're being in our doing?
Yeah, it's really exactly that. It's spreading that joy in every interaction during the day, and the way that we're connecting with our community. And we're lucky in a retail shop. We have so many little connections during the day that we make with people. And each one of those connections are so important. And it's each of those little moments where you're spreading that joy. Very similar. That was such a beautiful comparison. Wow. I wanted to cry the whole time you were talking. But that's really, that's what we try to do. It's just every single day, those little tiny connections. And over time, the magic that happens from all of those, like the flowers that bloom because of the bee, that's really, I think that's really what the consistency that we aim for all the time boils down to in our business.
In my logic land world, I'm known for saying if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. And one of my calendars is named Busy Bee, Letting It Be. So busy bee, like a bee, and then letting it be, because sometimes we try to white knuckle or we try to control things, and really surrender is the strategy. When we surrender and we let nature do what it does, and we let our essence be what our essence is, and let the divine channel through us, and we can be a blessing even when we're busy running around doing all of these things. How do you keep your human in that higher frequency or that higher realm as an entrepreneur? Because as an entrepreneur, it's very easy to hang from the tabs in our head, because we have we have revenue to create, we have products to sell, we have products to create, or source, we have clients to attend to. It's very easy to get so focused on the doing that we forget our essence. How do you blend those two or harmonize that?
Wow. It's a lot of you can have all the systems in place, and those systems change. I've really had to learn recently that as you grow, your systems have to grow. And we really try to be as organized as we can. As a business owner, as a mother, as a human being, I have all my systems in place. But today, this morning, I got one thing wrong, and things really took a big turn and a big change. And I realized that I can have everything in place, and we still have to just let some things be. be as easygoing as we can and really go with the flow. And that's really like something that's so important within our business, important within my personal life, is just control the things you can control. But after that, just like let Jesus take the wheel.
I think also what you were just sharing was about not holding yourself to the perfection standard. We are going to make mistakes. We're going to make wrong turns. There's going to be plot twists. There's going to be moments where we aren't our highest and best self. And that's where grace shows up. You get to offer yourself and others forgiveness. And I'm curious too, because like in a family business, especially with your marriage too, yeah, how do you and your husband navigate that? Like the human, very human side of it all?
That is a great question. We have to give each other a lot of grace. We have to continuously check in with each other. Thankfully, we love working with each other. I love spending time with him. But back before our small business together as a family, we hardly saw each other. And I really cherish all the time I get to spend with him. And thankfully, he feels the same way. But we have to give each other a lot of grace. And I am a perfectionist. He's a perfectionist. We have to give ourselves a lot of grace. And I need my friends to remind me all the time. I count on, my best friends. They're constantly checking in with me and saying, I hope you're giving yourself grace this week. And it's a lot easier to hear it from the people who love you than to hear it from yourself. And giving grace is something that we do a lot within our family business. We purchased the business from my parents a couple of years ago when they retired, and especially back when we were all together. I mean, when you have a huge family dynamic all together, you love each other so much. And I think whether you have a family business or not, you have to give your family a lot of grace, and they have to give you a lot of grace. And that can definitely be tested within a family business. But thankfully, when it comes down to it, we all love each other so much. And I will forever be working on giving myself grace. That's something that I'm going to be working on till the day that I die, because the perfectionism, when that's part of you, that is something that it's really hard to overcome as a business owner. But, my friends remind me it's perfect. It's perfect for you to do it. Don't worry about it being perfect. It's better that you try and you get it done. So I try to remind myself of that each and every day.
Yeah. With your husband, how do you guys divide the responsibilities without stepping on each other's toes?
We really, he's really the manager of the store. He manages the operations. We dream together, and I think he takes on a lot of the day-to-day, really like operations of the shop, and I'm really the marketing side of our business. And so that's always kind of how it's been divided. And I know a little more of the weight gets put on him, and I'm a little bit more of the weight at home gets put on me. And I feel like it's something that we're constantly checking in with each other on. I think it's really important when you're sharing a business with your spouse, and just sharing responsibilities at home. And that's something we have to check in with each other often on that. And but really, like, I have embraced the marketing side and the community outreach part of our business, and he's really the muscle and day-to-day operations. So that's kind of how it's divided.
You mentioned that you have to check in with each other a lot. What rhythms or rituals do you guys have to make sure that you are supporting each other as husband and wife, but also as business partners?
I feel like that after dinner time, when we finally make it out onto that back porch and our chairs, sitting out there watching the sun go down, that's like our check-in time. And we're not perfect. Like, things get so busy sometimes where he's delivering orders until 8 o'clock at night. There's just those times that get really busy, and things get a little off whack. And then we find ourselves a little grumpy a few days later. And, we may have had one of those moments today. Check in with each other, and I'm like, what do you need right now? And he'll ask me what I need, and how are we doing? And checking those checks and balances to see, like, are we in alignment with each other? And so that's probably a whole different podcast for marriage. We've been together almost 15 years, and we're both the most stubborn people on planet Earth. So I think that's what sometimes causes a problem, but also causes the success that we've had with our marriage too.
Yeah. Do you guys, when you have those tense moments, do you have a go-to rule or phrase that you share between each other that helps like diffuse it or get you back on track?
I wish we did. I could say we were that like adorable and and it was that well thought out, but it's usually the two of us getting so grumpy that we're like, we look at each other and we're like, what are we doing here? And then it also makes us realize like why our children are the way they are. We love them so much, but we're a family of stubborn people, and really usually comes down to needing to look each other in the eye and giving each other a long hug and deciding that it's time to check in.
Yeah. Time to set the armor down and check back in with the authentic you. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
We do. We say to each other when one of us recognizes to the other that, hey, you're kind of a little off. We'll say, are you being wise or wounded right now?
Wow.
And then it's like, oh, I'm operating from my wounded one. And then you get it just up level. So maybe
I love that. I'm going to adopt that.
Yeah. Wonderful. I got it from an Ed Milet podcast. So he said we all have a wise one or a wounded one in his. You also hear people say you have the good wolf and the bad wolf. And, you know, we have both sides of us. And sometimes I think it's really easy when you are in stressful or tense situations to focus on, to see the world through the wounded one, which means you see everybody else's woundedness because you're seeing the woundedness inside. And then when you shift your lens to the wise and you have gratitude and you express grace and you trust that there is a divine plan in it all, then you take a lot of that pressure off of you because you're just showing up and doing the best you can along with everybody else in the world. We're just showing up and doing the best we can. Most people don't have ill intention. There's a handful of people, but most people don't have ill intention. We're just stressed out, overwhelmed, and trying to keep it together.
I agree. And really, I think the one thing that we do say to each other, we look at each other and we say, we're on each other's team. Mm. We're on the same team. Like in parenting and business and everything, we're on the same team. And what you said about gratitude, that's the foundation of my life. It's gratitude is a superpower. I honestly think as a human being, as a business owner, if you keep gratitude at the foundation of everything, that's my wish for my children, that if there's one thing that they can learn from me, it's gratitude. Gratitude is everything. And I think that's my superpower as a human, is feeling gratitude on an insanely high level. And that's something that I'm so grateful that I have within me. And yeah, gratitude, everything.
Yes, I agree. Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday because I think a lot of things can be solved if we were just more thankful.
Yes. Yeah.
And oftentimes as business owners, we have a lot, especially visionary leaders, we have a lot of unexpressed gratitude. And we don't express it to our significant others. We don't express it to our team members. We don't express it to our clients. We don't express it to even God. And it really, gratitude changes us. And because it changes us, it changes our vibration, our frequency, and it has a ripple effect to everybody around us. Going back to that gratitude that pollinates like a busy bee, letting it be, something that I'm very mindful of and also in working on being much more intentional with. It changes a lot.
I love that so much. I try to tell our team, I try to tell my husband and my kids, and we make it weird at our shop. Like every time someone shops with us, whether it's online or in our store, we just tell them like, we are so thankful. Thank you for continuing to come back here to shop with us. Thank you for feeding the birds. Thank you so much. And we like to make it weird. We do it. We thank people that much. And the gratitude is there that much because that's everything.
Yes. Yes. What's the biggest lesson working together has taught you about love?
Oh man, but there's a lot of grace that needs to be given. There's a lot of forgiveness, when things aren't perfect every single day. But that I really feel like love is really what overcomes everything, and it's more important than it's the most important thing. It's more important than your business and everything else. Um, we've really had to work on like a work and life balance, like how we want our lives to look like. And that's with everything, not just with business. But at the end of the day, our love for each other is the most important thing, our love for our kids, and making time for that is everything. And I'm grateful that I get to work with Hector, that I get to see Hector and work together with him on something. I think it has really added like a special layer of our marriage. We're building everything in life together, and building this together in life is really like a dream come true. He's been my dream guy since the moment I saw him at Texas State University that one day, and he still is. He's everything to me, and at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. So I'm just grateful to be building my life with him and building a business with him. It's really special.
What's your definition of success?
I think my definition of success is a feeling of peace at the end of every single day. That feeling of peace within your life, that you go to bed each night and you're just really, you feel good you feel just good within your life, good within yourself and your relationship with your community, your relationship with your family, your relationship with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's at this point in my life and moving forward, peace is everything. That's really what I want, is peace. So I feel like that's success to me, and I feel so good about our small business. I feel that it makes a difference in our community, and that's our goal. I feel like it makes a difference to nature. And I often struggle with the feeling of not being able to control what's happening in the world, what's happening with nature in the world, but I can control what I put out here in my little space and my little community. And I'm proud of us that we've made a positive impact on our community and of nature. And it has in turn made a huge positive impact on me. Mm-hmm. So you're going to make me cry.
I love that, because I think sometimes when there are wars and rumors of wars, that there is this feeling of being out of control, that bad things are happening and I can't control them. And, we hear about the butterfly effect. And when a butterfly flaps its wings, it has a whole energetic ripple effect. And the thing that we can control is what you just shared, is the love that we put out in our individual communities, whether it's around our dinner table, or it's in our storefront, or it's with our customers, or it's how we talk to our neighbors. We can control that. And that does have a ripple effect, just like the butterfly effect. And if we are worried about things that are outside of our control, that actually impacts the thing that is inside of our control. And if we would release this fear that there are bad things that are happening that we can't control, and trust that the part that we can control will make enough of a ripple effect when we choose to show up in that way, we can change things from just who we're being in our little moments every single day. And I feel like you're modeling that with your small business, with your storefront, with expressing gratitude to every single customer that comes in, with how you're showing up as a wife to Hector, how you're showing up as a mother to your kids, how your being is pollinating. And I think that's a gift so many of us could embody and give to the world in this state of crisis that we're in right now.
Thank you so much. Really the greatest compliment. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you could put one message on a billboard for every visionary woman running a business, what would it say?
Wow. for all visionary women. Oh, I only get one message.
Maybe it's a picture, because a picture is like 1,000 words.
Wow. That's powerful. I think it would really just be for women to stay true to themselves, to who they are, to keep gratitude the center of their lives, to take care of themselves. I envision this woman kind of holding her heart. If I see like a billboard, I envision her holding her heart, and her heart is just radiating all the things that she loves, and they're kind of just surrounding her, and that. But then it would just be to like be really kind and gentle to themselves too.
Mm-hmm.
What they have, what they need is already within them, and just to be kind and gentle to themselves. And that's just really what I envision, is just a woman holding her heart, and her heart just radiating with all the things that she loves, and a feeling of her being kind to herself and being true to herself.
Well, that's beautiful, because we're whole and complete, lacking nothing. We have divine DNA in every cell of our being. And when we embody that, that is the gift of a mother to the world.
What would yours say? I'm curious. What would yours say?
When I asked the question, I didn't have an answer, but the immediate thing that came through, which was really resonant with you, is trust yourself.
Trust yourself. Yeah. I love that.
I think as a species, not just, we outsource authority. And we have all the authority inside of us.
Yep.
The whole power of the universe is in my 120-pound meat suit.
Yes.
I can channel it into any direction and be a vessel for good in the world. And I don't have to outsource my decision making. I don't have to outsource my thinking. I don't have to outsource my authority, anything. It's already inside of me. And I wish the world could remember that, because when you come home to you, that's where transformation for the world comes from.
Yes.
My mother's 2 sayings that she would always say to us is, remember who you are and be a blessing.
I love that.
And I think that originates from your heart, being connected to your heart, not locking your heart in a cage, calling it freedom, but letting it out, because it's free to love. And when you're not trying to control anything, you are free to love.
I love that.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
So where can people experience your story, your work, your bird-loving heart, in person or online?
Yeah, if you're in Central Texas, please come see us at Wild Birds Unlimited in Dripping Springs. We are in the center of town, or if you live somewhere else, you can visit us online at mywbu.com/Dripping Springs, or you can connect with us on social media, all social media channels at Wild Birds Unlimited of Dripping Springs. And I hope to connect with everyone. And I'm so grateful to connect with you today, Stacy. It's been magic.
Yes.
At the end of the day, magic. This has been magic.
I want to get one of those handheld hummingbird things.
I'm going to send you one. I'm going to send one. Even if you just have a hummingbird feeder, any hummingbird feeder, hold it, and they might not come right away, but they will begin to trust you the more and more they see you with the hummingbird feeder. And just holding whatever hummingbird feeder you have in your hands and feeding them is a truly magical experience. So I want to hear you report back to me whenever you experience it.
Our backyard already has hummingbirds, and it's full of cardinals. So I feel like it would already start coming. I just need to get out there and do it. I love nature, so this is going to be such a fun experience. For everyone listening, we'll put all of her links in the show notes so you can access it there. Is there anything that you would like to share in closing?
I really hope everyone just takes a moment today, after you hear this, go outside and just really connect with nature. Things feel heavy right now, I feel like, in the world, and here specifically in our state of Texas. And I just hope that everyone takes a moment, turn off your phone, go for a walk, Sit outside, listen to the birds, feel the breeze, put your bare feet in the grass, take some deep breaths, and really connect with nature. And I feel like if anybody does that after this episode, that's what I'm here for.
Yes.
And thank you.
Coming home to yourself, which is nature.
Yeah, with nature.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for all of your insights on nature, on birds, on business, on family business, on, I think, especially gratitude. I love that word. I think allowing grace to show up in our lives and then meeting that grace with gratitude and then showing up in our day-to-day with grit. My sister says God really is there. That's what grit stands for.
Yes.
And you're embodying that. So I really appreciate your modeling that inside of your hometown, inside of your business, inside of your dinner table, inside of your boardroom for your children. That will have a ripple effect. And so I honor you for that.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I love learning from you daily. I see you on my news feed and it feels so wonderful to be here with you. I've learned so much from you and it's great to have this moment with you. So thank you.
My pleasure. And everyone listening, I hope this added value, touched your heart, touched your soul, helped you remember to reconnect with yourself in nature, shutting down your screens, getting outside in fresh air, natural sunlight, the breeze that will change everything. And remember to breathe your way through building your businesses because that is going to oxygenate not just your soul, but your strategy, your systems, and everything that you do. So thank you for listening, and we're rooting for you. Cheers, y'all.